Hey guys, welcome back to Back Sports, and I'm back with another video. And I want to talk about one thing in particular, and that is about the Pittsburgh Steelers. But before we get into today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and it really helps me create content like this for you guys. So please subscribe. Anyways, the person I'm talking about here is someone you all are quite aware of and familiar with, and that is Justin Fields. And I get it. We've talked about him to death on this channel, and the whole Civil War is over. But I want to talk about something in particular when it comes to, what's going to happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers right now are in a predicament where, well, not necessarily a predicament, but more like, okay, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are on the same team now. The Steelers got them both on very cheap offers. And what's nice about the Russell Wilson contract, if you all don't know, is that the Broncos have to pay the brunt of it. And only $2 million has to be paid from the Steelers to Russell Wilson. And another thing about Justin Fields' contract is that the Steelers have declined to pick up Justin Fields' $25 million 50-year option. And yes, that was back in May or early this May, but I didn't really make a video about it because it wasn't necessarily, on brand for Bears. But this is something I kind of discussed with my brother and kind of my friends, about who is going to be the quarterback for the future for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's kind of has two potential takes, really. One being how the Russell Wilson has a new environment and will thrive with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Justin Fields is just going to sit behind him and learn and, maybe get an opportunity somewhere else. That was an option I think that it could play out if Russell Wilson remains healthy. That's really the main thing as well. Plus, also, he plays well within the system of Mike Tomlin. And you have to think about it in that perspective. And the other perspective is that Russell Wilson doesn't meet expectations. He's not comfortable with the system. And it ends up being Justin Fields' reign to take over. But these two scenarios can happen equally because it all depends on, how Mike Tomlin and the offensive staff takes on Justin Fields and kind of improves him. Because look at the staff, or look at the depth chart, really. You have Najee Harris, George Pickens, Van Jefferson, not necessarily great offensive prowess in terms of, wide receiver room, but George Pickens could be really good for this team. And your running back room, you have Najee Harris, Jalen Ward, and Cordell Patterson, which is honestly a three-headed bull, to be honest, when it comes to the running back position. And you have Pat Freiermuth, and Darnell Washington too, who are both two solid tight ends that they could utilize. I know Pat Freiermuth wasn't well utilized last year, but I think he could potentially be a tight end that they can utilize with the current offensive structure and scheme that they have. I'm not going to go really much into the defense, but really going to say is if Russell Wilson can work with these wide receivers and work with this running back room and this offensive scheme, it's going to be hard for Justin Fields to be able to kind of prove it to the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the Pittsburgh Steelers, as you can tell, don't really have any high stakes when it comes to keeping Justin Fields. They only took him because he was available, could be a potential young rookie that could take the reins if the said Russell Wilson experiment does not work out. If Russell Wilson ends up working out, which is one of the possibilities, I don't really see Justin Fields sticking around that long in Pittsburgh. However, if Russell Wilson turns out to be, not as proficient in his first 3 games or first 5 games, I think that Justin Fields could be the move going forward, and Pittsburgh fans are going to be shouting, "We want Fields to start." I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm not guaranteeing anything. This is just my perception of what could potentially happen. And if Justin Fields starts, listen, man, at the end of the day, yes, he's no longer a Chicago Bear, and I'm all in on the Caleb Williams train right now. And I fully believe Caleb Williams could be the guy for us going forward with the current system that we have. But I gotta root for Justin Fields, man. You gotta, even as a Bears fans, I know we moved on. If he does well, I will definitely root for him. And I wish him nothing but the best. I've always wished him nothing but the best ever since he got traded. So let me know down in the comments below. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Do you think Justin Fields is going to succeed in Pittsburgh and will eventually get the opportunity to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Or do you think Russell Wilson is going to be good enough to, you know, take the reins and eventually lead the Steelers to the playoffs? Oh, before I forget, before I end this video, I do want to mention all the people that have said Russell Wilson is washed, Russell Wilson is this, Russell Wilson is that. You got to keep in mind, Sean Payton didn't really like Russell Wilson in the first place. She was not his first choice. He thought he could fix Russell Wilson's issues, which, yes, he kind of did. He was definitely a lot better of Russell Wilson this past season than the season of that train wreck with Nathaniel Hackett on the Broncos. But Sean Payton didn't like him from the get-go. So that only fueled the flame of him eventually parting ways with the Broncos. And, you know, this is definitely a new system, new thing, and it all really depends on if Russell Wilson's like inner ego, inner monologue will tell him, "Hey, this is a new opportunity. You know, you have very few opportunities in the league, so make sure you take this opportunity and start throwing down in the middle of the field." That's really his main thing, is that he doesn't throw in the middle of the field, and Justin Fields loves throwing it in the middle of the field too. So honestly, this can go either way, but my personal thing, I think that Russell Wilson is going to start a couple of games, and then Justin Fields is probably going to take over eventually. But, you know, I could definitely see Russell Wilson starting the entire season, and Justin Fields can sit behind him and kind of learn the ropes of, you know, having that year that he never really had in Chicago. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I know I'm extending this video a little bit too long, but as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.